Hello, lovely ladies, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Salandria, and if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back, and thank you for returning. Make sure that you have hit that subscribe button. On this channel, we are talking about all things femininity, leveling up, manifestation, and becoming the woman that you truly know that you are. You just have a hard time releasing into the world. So, in today's video, I really wanted to talk about desires and knowing what you want in life. This is stemming from yesterday, I posted a video that was talking about what are the two things or three things that are blocking you from receiving your manifestations. One of those things was you don't know what it is that you want. You don't know what you want. One of the reasons you don't know what you want was because you don't know who you are just yet. You're still figuring out and fleshing out who you are. And I went back as I was editing that video, it was talking to me. Like, that's why I like making content, because I'm making the content to share with you all, but it's like also my own personal development, my own personal diary, my own personal little self therapy that happens. So as I'm listening to everything that I was saying, like it was just deeply resonating with me. And I'm one of those people who I have to know what I want because I'm a specific manifester. So I need to know what I want. And it's brought up how difficult it is for me to embrace what it is that I want when I have cultivated a personality around this good people pleasing yes girl, right? So I've like created this life. So I have relationships in my life that are based upon me being the yes girl, right? I have relationships, I have commitments, I have just all sorts of a whole world that I have created based off of being this personality of the people pleasing yes girl. So, but when you're moving into desire and what you want, those two can't live together. She can't live together because most of the shit that she says yes to, she doesn't even want to say yes to. Some of the people that she's created relationships with, she actually doesn't even want those relationships anymore. They actually never served her. But because I was seeking validation at some point, I was grasping at anything that I felt could validate me. And now I'm trying to like back myself out of this life that I've created for myself. Luckily, I always say, no lie, like I want to be married and all of this good stuff. But I'm like, honestly, I'm so grateful that I haven't come to it yet, because could I imagine getting married, having children, being in a mortgage, being in a car note, being like financially tied to another human being at a point where I had no idea who I was yet? And then waking up into who I am, and now I'm like contractually stuck in a life that I created based off of a fleeting personality. Oh my God. That is like true fear for me. Like fear comes up whenever I say that. That is fearful. So I'm grateful in a sense, but I still have created a life. I have created expectations of others. So people expect certain things from me, right? People know how I move. People know my cadence. They know how I talk. They know how I think. They know how I act. They know how I respond. They know all of these things. When you are opening up into becoming the woman that you already were, not creating some new personality, but becoming who you already were, you're unfolding, right? Yet you have all of these relationships that know you as a folded version of yourself. And so now I want to manifest bigger. I want to manifest better, right? God is waiting on me to tell him what I want. I'm not one of those manifestors that can just be like, God, send me something good, and then something good falls from the sky. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, well, tell me what you want. What's good to you? What's good to you? You tell me. I have to tell him. So, in order for me to tell him, I have to dive into myself and decide what I want. So, as I'm deciding what I want, I'm becoming a lot more unapologetic about who I am. And I'm afraid that it's going to rupture or disrupt some of the relationships that I'm having. But at the same time, it feels so good because I'm actually getting what I want. You feel what I'm saying? It's like this weird conundrum that you're in. So I really just want to talk to people who are also at this point where you are really vibing with yourself. You're understanding yourself. You're understanding what you want. You're understanding who you are. and you're growing up out of a personality. You're growing up out of the little girl and you're entering into your womanhood, who's way more unapologetic, who's way more confident in who she is, who knows what it is that she wants, who knows where she's going, and doesn't allow people, places, and things to stop her. Because that's another thing. People are like bothered when you don't allow anything to stop you for whatever reason, right? Sometimes they'll say, like, oh, you're a workaholic, or oh, you don't take your emotions seriously, or oh, I don't know. They come up with like all of these reasons why you should stop, which is fucking insanity, but okay. And when you don't, you're not stopping, can trigger people. I have learned the art of move around. I have learned the art of move around, and move around really disrupts people's emotions because they want you to stick in it with them. Like they want you to battle them. They want you to talk it out. They want you to, baby, God gave me feet now, and you're not God, right? So you can tell me no. You telling me no as if I can't move around, as if I don't got feet. Like what the hell is going on here? But that's neither here nor there. But you just you're showing up in your relationships now in a new way. You're showing up in the world, you're showing up at work, you're dressing differently, your hair is different, your confidence is different, your glow is different. And the more that you tap into that desire, the more that you tap into what you want, the more that you tap into the truth of what is you, it's difficult because you see like this glowing mountain of gold, but then you also see what situations, circumstances, and relationships I have built upon a false narrative that are now, I feel like, going to crumble if I reach for the gold. But I'm here to tell you that you have to reach for the gold. You have to reach, because you didn't come here to, yes, we're here to have these relationships, you know what I mean, but we're not here to placate for other people's emotions. We're not here to placate for other people's problems. As a woman, when you're stepping into your desire, it's almost like you become a problematic woman, because women are not allowed to have their desire, right? Our desire is only strictly used for in the bedroom for our man, for our husband. Other than that, we're supposed to be prim, proper young women with our apron maids on. You know what I'm saying? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're supposed to be little girls, right? These proper little girls. And then when you go into the bedroom, that's when you're supposed to open up all of your desire. And now your desire is for his pleasure, right? It's for your man's pleasure. But it's mine first, right? Like I can experience this desire all day long. The pleasure that I open up when I'm with my man, I get to have, is my birthright to have all day long. And it doesn't mean that I have to be promiscuous. It doesn't mean that I have to be like this, like over hyper sexualized being, like kind of how we see in media right now. But it's just this pleasure, it's this desire, it's this fire that can burn all day long, regardless of whether or not there's a man here or not. That is going to trigger your previous reality that you have created based off of a false personality, or just when you were a little girl. We won't call it a false personality. We'll say when you were a younger woman, right? A little girl. So this is more so of an encouragement video for anybody who is navigating these waters right now, because it's definitely a navigation, okay? And in it, you're only using your internal navigation system. You're only using your intuition. Living from a space of intuition has to be one of the most scariest things ever, because there's no real concrete solid confirmation that you're doing it right. Every once in a while you'll get something sprinkled from the sky. God will sprinkle down a little dust and you'll be like, keep going, sis, keep going. But for the most part, I have to keep trusting with my eyes closed, right? I have to keep trusting with my eyes closed. So as we are opening up, as we are unfolding and embracing our desire more than just what society has told us is the way that we embrace our desire, which is save it for a man and for your husband, or if you want to go off the deep end and then you move into just the highly sexual, liberated, promiscuous side of things, I don't think that either of those things is correct. None of it is specifically for a man. So even when you tap into the promiscuous side of this energy, right? This opening, this unfolding, this fire, this desire, even when you tap into the promiscuous side, I think what they're still missing is that they're taking that desire and they're still needing a man to activate it, or they're still needing some sort of sexual activity to activate it. They don't know how to let it engulf their whole body. It's still concentrated in one area. So they become like hyper sexually focused or something like that. And then they just have to have the do with everything that walks by them type of situation. And there is a lot of power that comes from sexual liberation, but you can still have that same power without freaking the whole town. In so many words, you can still have it, you can still get to do it without having to give it to everybody because it's yours. And as women, we really have to learn what's ours. We're so used to giving. We are here to nurture. We're here to give. We're here to restore all of this stuff. We're here to just be these selfless, empty vessels that are here for the pleasure of other people. And it's wrong. We're here to have that pleasure for ourselves. And naturally, it's our nature to overflow and give it to everybody else, but not until it's given to me first. I don't have to be this empty, hollow vessel for the betterment of other people because it's at the detriment of myself. So all of this to say that it gets deep, right? So it starts off with manifesting, right? You got to know what you want to manifest. But as you like spiral down and you actually do the inner work to okay, find out what is my desire, what do I like, and then see the reality that you've created that kind of imprisons you from experiencing those manifestations, and now you understand why you're not receiving what it is that you desire because you've kind of created a reality, created an algorithm that's completely opposite of who you actually naturally are when you're in your desire. So I think I'm going to leave this video right here. I hope that this is helpful for somebody. These are just conversations that I really love to have. So if you have anything to add on to this, if you have any questions, if you want to push it further, if you want to have a rebuttal from me, I would love for you to leave it in the comments below. But until next time, I appreciate your time and your attention. Peace.